please welcome Speaker Atkins.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Diane, and thank you all for being here. Welcome to my district. This is La Jolla, and I'm honored and proud as a state legislator to represent La Jolla. And in a moment, I'll tell you why being here is significant as we move on to my colleague who actually represents at the State Assembly the community of Barrio Logan. But you know, when San Diegans cast their votes this June for the primary, they're going to be choosing between the democratic process and a civic decision-making based solely on power and money. And this choice may not be readily apparent to voters because it's disguised as a referendum on a community plan, a government process that few people really understand and typically even fewer want to think about. But Propositions B and C may well be the most important decisions San Diegans will make about the future of their own communities for many years to come, and that's important for people to understand. A yes vote on Propositions B and C means that we believe that the process of determining the character of a neighborhood should involve everyone in that neighborhood and not give an unfair advantage to anyone. This neighborhood power has its roots in state policy. Now, before your eyes glaze over, stick with me. The Office of the Governor issues guidelines to local governments on how to put together the blueprint for growth and development in our area, which is called a general plan. These guidelines set out statewide goals and policies designed to make our state safer, cleaner, and more prosperous and more beautiful. Community plans are like neighborhood chapters in an overall book that is the general plan, and they are expected to reflect those same principles. Let me mention just a few of the qualities that community plans are expected to incorporate. The current guidelines say that the community planning process should provide a forum for resolving local conflicts. The planning process should also encourage public participation and should be transparent. It should address the issue of environmental justice, which prevents one group from bearing disproportionate health burdens from environmental hazards. These are qualities we all expect for our own neighborhoods. You know, San Diego has a long history of inclusive, thoughtful, and fair planning. We are here in La Jolla today because La Jolla represents a perfect example of planning done right. La Jolla is known as the jewel because this community has preserved its culture, its history, and its beauty through the community planning process. And that is exactly what Barrio Logan should be able to do and what they're trying to do. Here where we stand, we are on the edge of a special cultural zone that preserves important institutions along the coastline here, much like a historic preservation area. The village of La Jolla has a planned district ordinance which prevents the quaint retail area from being taken over by large office projects. Sometimes the planning process here in La Jolla can get a bit heated as opposing viewpoints struggle to prevail. But thanks to good planning tools and a collaborative and democratic process, La Jolla manages to maintain its unique beauty and history while also being very prosperous. Every community deserves the same, including our historic Latino neighborhood, Barrio Logan. The businesses and residents of Barrio Logan spent 5 years reviewing their community plan, which had not been updated in over 30 years. Now, because of these outdated rules, Barrio Logan is the only community in San Diego where polluting businesses sit next to homes and schools and parks. Barrio Logan's children have an asthma rate more than twice that of any other neighborhood in San Diego because of the pollution there. For 5 years and through hundreds, as Diane said, hundreds of public community meetings, those who live and work in Barrio Logan have wrestled with how to best meet business needs while keeping its children healthy. They say politics is the art of compromise, and the Barrio Logan Community Plan passed unanimously by the Citywide Planning Commission and then by the City Council was a work of art. Many compromises were made along the way, and even at the last minute, a further compromise was crafted to address the concerns of the business community. The plan that was adopted will improve the health of the children there and the community. It would allow for economic growth. It embodies the principles set out by the state and this city for good community planning. It is, in fact, democracy in action. Now, sadly, some people believe that the democratic process only applies to other people. They believe that if you have enough money and power and influence, you should get a second and very one-sided bite at that apple. These people have put Barrio Logan Community Plan on the ballot, and they're spending a heck of a lot of money on manipulative TV ads and mailers asking you to overturn the city council and the community. Would La Jolla let that happen? I certainly don't think so. Do we want any community to be put in that position? Absolutely not. So when I said this will have broad-reaching impacts and precedents on the rest of this city, that is what I meant. Not only would that be a bad decision for Barrio Logan, it would be a bad decision for La Jolla or any other community that wants to shape its future and have its own vision. So I urge voters to say yes on B and C, to say yes to keeping the community a part of community planning, to say yes to safe and clean and healthy neighborhoods, to say yes to the democratic process. And I want to make sure you share that with your neighbors, your friends, because this could happen in your community. Let's not let it happen in Barrio Logan. I want to turn the microphone over to my incredible colleague who represents this important historic community, Assemblymember Lorena Gonzalez.